his father, Randy, and he's about 10 rows below us here at the Delta Center. Puck drop tonight brought to you by Simpson Chevrolet, and we are underway. Deneau, Fogle, and Moore up front for head coach Jim Hiller. Defensively, Edmondson with Gavrikov. A change on the blue line. Moberari in for Spence. Kerfoot for Utah. To Bukestad. Tied up, fights off the check. Hands it off. Stenlund feeds it out. Dursey, a shot. Save, rebound. Kings battle to get it back, but it's cleared to center away from Keller. Now Keller picks it up. Their captain feeds it over the line. Shot. Gupfer scores!
See him coming right at you. Now get to the blue line right here. It's just a simple play. It's not as much of a screen. And you know, in the open, we were talking about Gunther this morning. I was watching his release. He gets right there. May have put himself offside here on the pass.
Yeah,
and the Kings are going to challenge here.
Los Angeles is challenged to determine if the play was offside prior to the goal. After video review and the coach's challenge, it was determined that at 18:38 the play was offside. Therefore, we have no goal.
That came through onto the near side boards. Moberara, a bump, threw it up the wall, held in. Doan, Josh Doan, son of Shane Doan, longtime Coyote forward. Now in front it comes, and denied was Lawson Krause. Sergachev for Keller, and across on the right side, moving in, shot Stenlund, gloved down. Puck out up high, Mata for Kesselring. Backhands it to the net, blocked. Gavrikov got in the way, and the Kings will lift it out.
So Utah continues with the five-man pressure. Everyone involved.
Now Kesselring, stopped by Kemper in tight, and no rebound.
You've got to slow down this speed early up. Look at the Kings get back, but Kesselring, a defenseman, decides to go in. This is so calmly played here. We talked about Cooley in the open, but look right there. Kemper's calm there. He knows that it's such tight quarters here that there's not going to be much room for Kessel. Danger time, energy, all right now with Utah. Kings trying to weather the storm.
Draw one, Dursey a shot, and Kemper with the save as we take a look at the Hyundai keys to the game. Shots unofficially 6-1. Utah scoreless in the first. And moving in, Doan a shot, fought off by the right shoulder of Kemper. Save was up high.
Again, neutral zone, Nick, all that speed by Utah.
Byfield tried to feed LaFerriere on the right side. That pass didn't connect, and Utah will take over. Get to the Kings line. Krause, the big-bodied veteran forward, will get it in deep. Now Fiala lifts it in the air, and it bounces out to center off Trevor Lewis. Here's Sergachev, the former Tampa Bay Lightning defenseman, centers, steered behind the net by the Kings. Yamamoto, the former Oiler. For Schmaltz, turning, high slot, shoots, save is made, glove down, and held.
Yeah, the Kings do a good job to at least box out there.
Hands it off, centering pass blocked.
Yeah, Moberara very smart right there, getting to the lane, didn't worry about the player passing.
Kempe bowls his way in for a backhand bid, turned aside by Vejmelka. Sharp angle shot by Dursey, but like we've seen the whole period, again Dursey a chance, save, rebound! Covered with a couple of Utah players right there, Bukestad and Stenlund. Kemper.
I think both Daryl and I are talking about make some room to get some shots.
Yeah. All right, Gavrikov in the box. Went off late in the first for a hook. Game's first power play to Utah, and their power play 16th average in the league. And they'll set it up. Sergachev, the veteran, he'll be the quarterback up high. Now Schmaltz hands it off, side of the net, in tight. Save off Hayton. Busier signing 4 players to extensions. Yamamoto, a shot blocked by Moberara. Now Schmaltz in, a backhander, save, Kemper, no rebound.
Under his glove. Now we'll see that turnover here. And then with the Kings uncharacteristically start to run around a little bit, because watch the next guy that's open. Right there, right in the middle. And then when the puck's there, you see that extra whack right there. That caught the attention of Brad Clark. And that's a good position to be in to make sure. It's Hayton who tries to get the extra whack, and here comes the headlock.
Connor Ingram, we wish him the best, his third year with the organization. Claimed off waivers a couple of years ago from Nashville and from Darcy Kemper's hometown, Saskatoon. 0-0, second period. Doughty up the middle. Kuzmenko a shot save, and then a collision with a goaltender. Gonna get a penalty here, and Kempe's gonna go.
No, I think, well, Nick.
Yeah, well, what do you think?
He might go.
Okay.
But I think the original call was against Utah. Watch her in the middle, right there, off to the side. Pulled, yeah, he's almost tackled, and you can see Adrian's trying to actually put the brakes on. And then Cooley comes back. You got to stop for me, guys, here, just to make sure. Yeah, there it is right there. Now, Cooley's 92. He has Kempe from behind. And then you'll see he kind of grabbed the upper body. In the corners, the referee with his hand up. And that's for the initial call. And now they're talking things over. That's what made it look dangerous, and it can be. But you can see he's being interfered with. The puck's not there yet. Now we're going to get the official call.
The call on the ice, in the judgment of the referee, is that number 92 Utah fouled the Los Angeles player into the goal, and then the puck crossed the line. Therefore, we have a goal.
Kings, as we mentioned earlier, very good in that first period. And right off the draw, puck in the middle, but Kuzmenko was tied up. McBain for Utah, across to Doan, into the corner he goes with Moverara. Doan got it, side of the net, score! Kraus from the base of the left circle. And we're tied at 1.
You'll see Kraus back out to buy himself some room. Here's the dump, here's the chase. Kings have numbers, but there it is, inside position. As I mentioned with Kraus, he backs off. He doesn't have time. It's Doan that does the job against Moverara. Doan backs in.
Marino is new this year, and Kesselring has developed. And he's got a big shot, but he gets involved. Lead pass, a break. Fiala in. Deeks. Save is made. Vemelka. Shot. LaFerriere hit the side of the net.
Waiting for Fiala to come across. And then he gets right on the stick. Watch the pull back to the back end by Kevin. And Vemelka, great edge work by the goaltender. We isolate Fiala. You'll see the goaltender skates in the crease, pushing off. He'll actually be blowing snow himself from one side to the other. And then credit to Carlin Bathe for getting that information about Drew Doughty and him going to the referees, all those things there. The Kings on the board with a 1-0 lead, of course, now tied 1-1. Just in case there's a backhand. I know Darryl was talking about it earlier in the intermission, you know, the lack of shots, so that means first opportunity for a shot, you've got to take it because it might go away and it may never come back again.
Byfield, Fiala, turnover, Fiala scores! Kevin Fiala, right between the circles, buries it. Marino with the guffaw, and the Kings have a lead for the first time tonight. They're up 2-1.
And Marino just snapped his stick. He's getting some assistance and support from his teammates as he goes off, but cleanly one draw. As he goes off, but cleanly one draw. Turns and thinks someone's open. Wow, everyone had skated by it. Perhaps he thought his partner was going to be in front. There it is. There's a snap of the stick. So Fiala was able to right himself and then over the pad, under the glove. Now you take what you can get in this type of a game. You know, Fiala went behind the net there too, so maybe Marino saw him there and in thinking, well, he can't be in front again because he was just behind the net.
Keller moving in. Keller cross ice pass broken up, sent down the ice. A bump on Moore. They let it go. Moore with it. Moore in on goal. Scores! The Ravens strikes again. Trevor Moore, 3-1 LA.
Moore's move is just perfect. Right here. Okay, now you see Moore is kind of knocked into. Now Vemelka, he just got caught him, and then you see, yeah, I talked about surgical from Fiala. Watch this. Move, open, slide. You're just waiting for those pads before the danger went away. Then he made the danger go away.
Kesselring, a defenseman, moves in, a drop pass, Curlin dragged to the net. Chance! Hayton save made.
By the opposition, and then the opportunities. Hayton in there to take it for Utah.
With the Quinton Byfield. And off the draw, Byfield to win. Doughty flips it high in the air, and it goes down the ice towards the empty net. Score! Drew Doughty celebrates at center ice to put this one on ice. 4-1 LA.
And Quinton Byfield, he got low on his forehand. Ways to get it done. Stick on stick, kick, and Drew Doughty gets his second longest goal of the season.
By about 4 feet.
Exactly. Look at this here. Oh man, you can't do that any better if you're Byfield. Stick on stick, he spun his body around to get body position in a game where after 40, Nick, we talked, I don't think they were controlled by any other team like Utah did tonight after 40 minutes. And they're able to get 2 points, that's huge.
Game winding down to the net, a chance and a goal! McBain walked out from the left corner, tucked it in down low. Power play goal.
Completely the other way. McBain turns and just gets to an area where no one's going to pick him up. And again, teams have this decision all the time. Swoop! He goes so far from the forehand to the backhand, and he doesn't waste any time and gets the job done on the putback. So we're down to a 4-2 lead, but the Kings will get to 2 points.
So the Kings come into Delta Center for their first ever regular season game in this building, and they come away with a 4-2 win thanks to number 1 Darcy Kemper.